GRS Insulation, Galaxy Blinds, Heroes and Legends, Advanced Utility Solutions, Cleveland Systems Engineering, Cornerstone, Dovecot, Smith and Friends Estate Agents, and TGM Cars. Well, today was another must-win game. You know, with 5 defeats, then 2 wins in the bounce. Looking for a hat-trick of wins today, away at Swansea, another team that's huffing and puffing and struggling. And the team that the manager picked, or the coach, was Travers, Giles, Fry, Borges and Dick Steele, Whittaker, Morris, Hackney and Foz, Hazaz and Conway. On the bench was Glover, Beleza, Ehianasho, Berzog, Howson, Junior, Woolston, McCormack and McCabe. I have to say the first half I thought was shocking. And it's easy criticising, but if you've seen a different game for that, you must have been on the alcohol this afternoon and this lovely afternoon. No, seriously, shocking first half, setting to every ball. They closed us down. They know we funny about the back. They close every time we get the ball. They closed us down, harassed us, forced us into mistakes or hitting it long, and we couldn't get a rhythm to the game. We looked disjointed. And when they had the ball, they ran us ragged. I mean, it took us 70 minutes before we had our first shot on target. That was Conway. He had a couple of duffers, and there was another couple way off target for several Borough players. But one shot on target, and I think it was one for the duration of the game. That says it all, really. Second half, Carrick chopped and changed, but to no avail. We were a wee bit better second half, but we could only get better. I say the first half, you can use what words you want: horrendous, woeful, unacceptable, rank bad. It was poor. And again, you know, we got what we deserved. There's not even if you're the most blinkered, sycophantic, in bed with Borough, don't want to hear any, you must have seen the same game. We have to stop kidding ourselves. We ain't going into the playoffs. We're not going in the playoffs. I've said that even when we won the 2 games, I didn't think we'd make it. Today, I think just rubber stamps what I think. Of course, mathematically, we can do it. But are we good enough? No, we're not good enough. We're inconsistent. Leadership, there's only, well, Fry's been a leader the last couple of games. And by the way, you get a bang in the head today. I thought the rules were you come off if you get a bang in the head. But obviously, we're very, very, very short. We've only got one fit, and that is Fry. He's lying in a heap for about 5 minutes. And he carries on. Well done to him. But is that not a wee chance when you get a bang in the head? I think it was full on as well. That was only 5 minutes. But anyway, I can't sit here and say we were unlucky or we played well. First half, brutal. On the eye, brutal to watch. Hard to watch. I was considering throwing the telly out the window, but they've been too expensive. If I was a modern day player, I might have done it and plenty of money. But no, seriously. Second half, slightly better. Perked up. Berzog come on around about the 70th minute. You know, we made a couple of substitutions at half time. You know, when I look at the team, and I've said this for a while, the left-hand side, Berzog's been the in-form left-hand side player. 3 goals, and then he was dropped, and then it's still 3 goals in 5 games. He came off the bench again today, and I thought he changed it a bit. But one number 10 in Azaz. We don't really know who else can play that role. One centre forward, Hinasho lads know he's still bedding in. The time he beds in, the season will be over, and Junior, the season will be over. So one centre forward in Conway, no right winger. I know Whittaker's meant to be a right winger, but Foz, not good enough. Not good enough. Conway, he was diving a couple of times first half. I've seen that before. Don't like that side of him. But he had a couple of shots, wayward shots. He had one on target, the only one we had on target. But not the midfielders. I thought Morris and Hackney struggled. They were getting run ragged as well. Their lads in midfield were sharp and skillful and creative, and they moved the ball quicker than us. We were the old Borough, slow, laboured, predictable, boring. The word boring should never come into it. Carrick's first season was unbelievably good. Best I've seen. This is a shadow of the team I watched 2 years ago. This is a shadow of the team. Simply not good enough. I didn't think we'd won today. I was saying to my pals, I was having a coffee earlier on, I said I think it'll be a draw at best, or we get beat. Why? Because I've watched the last couple of games. It's not about glamour football. I've kept saying that. It's about results. But today we weren't glamorous, so we never got the result we wanted. Even a draw in this position Away from home, usually you class a point as a good away point. Today, not good enough. Not good enough. No fight, poor passing, very poor. That's for Matthew. What must Bazog be thinking when 2 lone players come on before him? Exactly. I'm thinking that. If I was Bazog, I'd be knocking Carrick's door down and saying, what on earth's going on here? And I look at Giles, dear me. He taken off half time, he never crossed the ball. The first one he overhit, and the next 2 he hit the first man. That was it. That was his contribution. Then he got the hook. Foz, no good on the wing. Don't know what his position is, but just not good enough. Half the team didn't function today. Weren't in it. Best Borough player, goalkeeper. He had about 2 or 3 good saves. They had about 4 or 5 good shots on target. We'd won. They scored one, possibly scored another, but well done to Travers. Agile, aware. Yeah, he done well. It's just a pity that one of our best goalkeepers is in loan. He'll be gone in the summer as well. Carrick looked lost. John, too good. Yeah, camera panned in a couple of times. I thought that myself. Mohammed says, other failure of a season on the cards. I'm really pissed off. No, that's for Mohammed. He's peeved off. Leslie Coach says, sell our best players, sell the slick BMW up front and replace it with a ladder. That's why. It's quite good for you, Leslie. So you had Letty Laugh as a BMW and the lads that come in as ladders. I remember my big mate Pally used to drive a ladder. Phil Otten says, club needs an independent review of the medical side of things. This pile of injuries is not normal. Do you know what, Phil? It's a great point. What's going on at training? The majority's happening at training. They're falling like flies. But 1 centre-half fit out of 5. When I played, and I didn't play 1920s, I played up to 95. Centre-halves would injure centre-forwards and attacking players. Centre-halves were very, very seldom injured. They would give out the injuries. But for some obscure reason, our centre-halves are going down like flies and all getting injured. Where? Why? What's the problem? What's the issue? Bernie, we are not good enough already for a playoff position. Whether Carrick can change the narrative, I'm not so sure. That's for Tim Leach. Well, I agree. I've said, and it's not been negative, it's been realist. I'm not a fantasy, I'm not a dreamer. Starting the season, we've all got dreams, ambitions, and where we're going to be, and that's what football's about. But when it comes to the nitty gritty, if you put your cards on the table and you know a wee bit about football, we ain't going anywhere. It's gone. It's gone. Get rid of the clueless plank now. The clueless plank now is the fulfilled batch. Take your tippy-tappy football with you and the clown sat behind you. Get rid of now. That's the fulfilled batch is raging, frustrated. This is where I think Postecoglou, Tottenham manager, who comes in for a fair bit of flack, and he was talking about stats the other week, and I totally agree. You know, if you look at stats, you don't watch a game, you look at stats. Say you're a Dale Fry or a Van der Berg, I know he wasn't playing today, but whoever, Borges, whatever, and you've got 100% accuracy passing. Well, you should have, because you're passing it 3 feet away and getting it back 3 feet with the centre forward, one centre forward, half a mile away down the pitch. Well, not quite, but a fair distance. Of course they're going to be accurate passes. It's flawed. These stats are flawed. Oh, yeah, amount of passes, yeah, accurate passes. Well, if I'm a midfielder, I'm looking for a Hollywood ball. I'm looking for a defence-splitting pass. One that will really count and hurt the opposition. No, keep retention of the ball and possession of the ball and blow the pants off everybody. And I tell you what, the 2 players that get most of the ball today was Fry and the keeper. That sums us up. Fry and the goalkeeper get more touches than any player in our team. And that's been the case. Fry's not been playing, but whoever's centre-half, whether it be Van der Berg, a big Clark when who's here, or Edmondson, they get more touches than anybody. That can't be right. That can't be right. See, is he playing at the back and keeping all the possession? I looked at half time. It says Borough 60% possession, Swansea 40, obviously. And I thought, yeah, but we've done nothing with it. 60% possession. 18 yards for your own goal. It's not good to man the beast. What a load of absolute nonsense. What you make of Eric Peters, 36-year-old in trial. Did okay at Stoke and West Brom. Don't know much about him, Mohammed. I'd be lying. I'd just be bluffing it. I don't know. I thought you were going to say Eric Gates. I was going to say he's more than that. He's older than that. Terry Basco Brown, hiya Terry. Hi Bernie. How the hell are Middlesbrough FC expecting to sell season tickets on these performances? Thank you. Well, obviously, I'm not here to persuade or dissuade. As a fan, if you've got the money, you go and watch your hometown team. And Middlesbrough is an escapism for loads of Borough fans and fans up and down the country. Obviously, when your season tickets got for grabs, you're hoping that the team had a bit of form. And we did after 5 straight defeats with 2 wins. We're looking for a hat-trick today, but it never happened. And I just think that's what it's going to be for now at the end of the season. Turbulent, up and down, frustrating. Don't know what Borough you're going to watch or turn up. Eric Peters hasn't played since March last year. If you think Ailey's legs are gone, then watch this fella. Dave Connor says, hiya Dave. We have seen some poor games by Borough this season. Today is by far the worst ever. So many poor players. Dave, I've mentioned it before you gave your opinion. I thought the first half was horrendous. Horrendous. If I was on the bus as a player now, I'd be saying the same things. I'd be saying I was garbage, we're garbage. Not good enough. Not good enough. We know what we have to do to try and bring it into the playoffs, but it's more or less gone. It's not, as I say, in a couple of weeks we'll need snookers to get in that top 6. Did Sunderland win again today? They were 1-0 and then it was 1 each and then they're away. Coventry above us. West Brom, they were winning, Mugger's team. So I think there's a 5-point gap now. I think one of the teams above us has got a game in hand, one of the 5th and 6th. Steve Daly says, can we now stop thinking they're going up? It's not happening, Steve. We would be worst team in Premiership coming back down, being humiliated. No consistency. Bazog dropped again. Carrick needs to go. Same bill every week. For young boys, Morrison, Hackney, look my age, 58. Wow. That is damning. Changes needed now. Season over for me. Today's match, we were garbage. Paul Ronald just short and sweet and no messing about. John Tugger says, everyone wants Carrick sacked. Could they tell me who is available? I think there's just a sheer frustration, and obviously Carrick was well documented a few weeks ago after 5 straight defeats that Carrick was under pressure. People speculating he was getting the sack. Steve Gibson stuck by him. We've seen 2 wins, but then we're back to the old habits today. The slow, boring. I never thought I'd use that word under Michael Carrick. On the pitch, after his first year, amazing. As I say, in 2.5 year tenure, first year we went like that, and then the last 2 years, we've come down. We're going down the slope, and nobody's getting a grip of it to start pushing us up. Everyone wants Carrick sacked. Could they tell me, so I've mentioned that. Now look at we're playing a team today who's not got a manager. He's an interim guy, isn't he? AJ Styling says, you were struggling defensively, but that confirms the point. This house ain't fudge enough. Might be so angry. I don't know. Is that Swahili, AJ? Yeah, it's Swahili. It was a bit harsh there, but the lads make it a Skoda. He's getting back to the car situation. BMW to a lad, and now he's saying Skoda. Been like this for a few months now, just no idea on how to defend and giving away the ball in their own too many times for Matthew McGuinness. Few many times. Matt Scott says, recruitment to blame. Giles and Whittaker, both garbage, can't control pass a ball. The thing is, Mark, when we brought Giles back, I don't know Giles, it might be a great guy, I think it's a good guy, right? But we're talking football and professionalism. And as a Borough fan, a guy's been here 40 years. Giles, lazy recruitment, going and getting Giles when he left. And he went to Luton, Hull City, Luton, failed at both struggling clubs. And then somebody at the club decided, and I don't believe it's Carrick, decides, let's bring Giles back. So we bring Giles back to a defence that can't defend, who are poor defensively. We bring a guy back that can't defend. And people say, yeah, but he gets the ball in. He did 2.5 years ago. His form's a way off. He never put a ball up to take the hook at half time. He never put a ball in. So, lazy recruitment. You're dreaming of what he was 2 years ago, 2.5 or whatever it was. Not good enough. Not good enough. And he says that before the event. His first game, he scored an own goal. The second game, he played a partner, a goal against us. And then today, he never got a kick. But not just him. Half the team never turned up today. Poor. And the recruitment in the January window, well, Travers will go back to Bournemouth or get sold because he's in the shop window and doing very well. Giles will head off to pastures new. Big Hanacho will do the same. Hanacho, however you pronounce his name. And Junior, none of them will stay here. Again, it's building in sand. They go. We bring in another batch in the summer. We'll sell a few. We'll get a few on loan. And then we do the same the following. It's just a cycle, isn't it? You must know the gig by now. Most lacklustre display I possibly ever seen. It was like watching a pre-season. And what's more disappointing, if you Paul Nicholas, is that Swansea weren't that good themselves. No, they weren't, but I tell you what, if you switched on the television from the start to the half-time whistle and you were told, and you're in neutral, you'll just fill out the sky and you end up watching this Swansea Borough and you think, who are they? And somebody says in your ear, one of these are chasing the top 6 and one is struggling. You'd have said Swansea were going for top 6 over us. First half, the run is ragged. 4 shots in target, scored the goal was a great goal. The ball gets played into Foz, it's a bad ball on the right hand side, played into Foz. He flat-footed, guy nicked in front of him, won the ball. The Chinese left winger, what a player he was. He tore it, he popped the cartilages out. Checking, ducking, diving, he cut in. We backed off defensively, centre backs. Hackney was trying to get back there. He opened up, curled it right footed, past the full stretch goalkeeper into the left hand corner. It was a great goal for their point of view, but poor for our point of view. And many times we say that this season. Steve Daly says, as a male chauvinistic pig, as my ex-wife called me, but I'd rather watch women's game, more passionate, better passing, and nice butts. Wow. Darren Dye says everything about the state of our season when we're taking 36-year-olds on trial. 3-4 this season, rebuild after rebuild every summer, shows the recruitment is woeful. Well, Dan, we've had plans over the years. Oh, we'll play football this year. We'll do it this way. We'll get young players in and polish them up. But we're not polishing them up. We're getting them away like Rodgers 6 months later. So there's no longevity in anybody these days. Eddie Jeff Edwards, hiya Jeff the Cotter. The only points we're going to get today are the ones my colleagues pull over. The team coach. Very poor embarrassment. Jonathan Hill says, saw in an interview with Paul Scholes, he's seen all the clubs having worse injuries than the past. Not just us. He blames the sports scientists like I think I've heard you do. Jonathan, I've said it for a long time. These sports scientists need to be, they need to go under the spotlight. If you're a sports scientist, you're meant to look after the welfare of the player. Well, quite clearly at Middlesbrough, in the last 2 or 3 years, the amount of injuries has been embarrassing, shambolic. And I'd be asking questions if I was carrying. I'd be knocking their door down. So while the players are knocking my door down, I'd be going and knocking the sports scientists, saying, what is it? What the hell's going on here? As I say, the majority of injuries we've picked up. Where's McGree? What's happened to him? Has he fell off the planet? And by the way, see if McGree goes to Australia, because of the international come, isn't he? Absolute disgrace. I'd bin him. I would bin him if he goes to Australia. He's never been fit. He gets fit a couple of games. We had the cheating audacity to give him a new contract. Is it 3-4 years? I was his biggest fan. No, I'm not a fan. I switched off him. Not doing it. Injured regular. I know injury a big part of the game, but I just don't think mentally, I don't know if he's got what it takes. And if he goes to international duty, that's the biggest slap in the face for us as Borough fans and as a football club. Well, I'd be saying you ain't going. It worries me the signs of the clear out we need But I don't think whoever is in charge next season will receive, this is for Chris Atherton, will receive a decent financial backing to build a team. And I don't mean 1 week before the new season starts. Yeah, I don't think a lot of money will be spent this summer, Chris. I'm not privy to it, but my gut is we won't spend a lot. We don't think we ever have in recent years. We tighten our belts. Who's to blame for all this, Bernie? Absolutely shambles today. We let decent players leave in January. Selling Jones and Clark was crazy. Lalati last minute. We have replaced them with rubbish. Time for Gibble to sell up and give someone else to run the club. Well, Wayne Matthews, I've read it out and I appreciate you getting involved. I think it's collective. Everybody's to blame. The chairman, the chief exec, the director of football, the sports scientists, the coaches, the players. The only one who gets away with it is the fans. Everybody is in the mix, but only one guy will carry the can, and that'll be Carrick. But Carrick's bought into it. That's what coaches are. They go in there, everybody puts their tuppence worth in, and then when it goes wrong, one guy carries the can. So I think it's a collective thing, not one or two. Everybody's in the mix. And regarding, I've said it many a times, Wayne, but who would buy Middlesbrough? Do you think the Sheiks would buy Middlesbrough? I don't think for a minute anybody would buy Middlesbrough. You know, if you look at Newcastle, big vibrant city, I get it. Big airport, fly all the world, Europe, connecting flight. We've not got a big airport. We're not a city. The team's huffing and puffing. Here in this area, there's a lot of poor people. I don't think the glamour, the rich or the big boys want to come here or buy it. That's me only being honest. I love it. I'm from Glasgow. But these guys for whatever, even in Burnley, such a poor performance, don't see it improving anytime soon. Up the effing borough for Stuart Gourley. Matt Scott says, end of the season now, get new coaching team in during the next few weeks and start again in the summer. Have you known a club suffer the same levels of injuries we have over 2 years? Sean McMahon. Well, I think Tottenham, obviously because they're in the Premier League and always talked about, and I quite like the Tottenham way of football. I mean, they call it Spurs ball, don't they? And people are starting to say Carrick ball, boring ball. Yeah, so I think Tottenham have struggled big time. But is the injuries? Well, no, it's not happening in match day. We're not seeing them in match day. Most players at Middlesbrough who are out for a long time have run off the pitch at the end of games. I'm not seeing them limping off or getting stretchered off. They all seem to jog off and then we don't see them for 6 months. So it must be something at training. It's either spoiled. Sports scientists, sports dietitians, the best at everything, the best treatment, the best training facilities, the best grass, the best boots, the best money. And they're all going down like flies. Bazog must be thinking, what have I done wrong if you can't get into this team? Well, I'll tell you what, if I was a fringe player at Middlesbrough now watching what I'm watching, I'd be questioning my sanity as to A, why I'm not getting a game and why am I here. Carrick must go, Phil Batch. Get a new team, take over the last 10 games and plan for next season. Get rid of Carrick now. Matt Scott says, Ignacio looks at least 5 kilos overweight. Total garbage. Daylight robbery that he actually gets paid more in a month than I get in a year. That's a sad fact about footballers and the money they're paid. I'm all for players getting top whack. I really mean that. They're the players that get stick for faceless people and ridiculed when they're bad. But if you're doing the business, for me, you deserve the money because the money's in the game. I'd rather the players get it than chief execs or directors or chairman. I'd rather the players get it. If they're doing the business, of course. Mike Green says, team looks so weak and disjointed. I thought we're disjointed today. We sort of we interchange positions. And sometimes I think some of the lads are guessing on the hoof. They don't really know where they have to go. We had 2-1s, but they were still poor performances. I agree with that. No attack, no defence, no clue. Time for a change. Keith Williams, Gell's very, very poor. But Keith, I question why we brought Gels back. This is before the event. I'm not a fan of bringing players back. I call it lazy recruitment, and it is lazy recruitment. Andy was at 2 teams who odds are relegated, 2 bad teams, no coming for good teams, and we brought him back into a poor defence, and he's a poor defender. I don't get it. It defies common sense. It's ludicrous. And by the way, I don't think for a minute that Carrick brought him. Well, Carrick never brought him. Bring Isaac Karanka back for 11 games now. At least it will be fun. Dear God, if you're bored with Michael Carrick's football, you'll be bored with Karanka's. Come on, Karanka, man. 4 wins in the Premier League. 4. Never had a go. I don't think we were over the halfway line. Big Negredo scored 10 goals and he made 9 of them for himself. We were so deep. Adam Clayton and that were deeper than the ocean. No thanks, Karanka. Away. Mohammed, give your head a shake, man. Might as well bring Warnock back. Surely this is the end. Come on, Borough fans. Sing him out. Joshua Jones. Buzz Bogdanovich. Why, oh why do we think we are exceptional? We're not going to get in the top 6. Let's see how many early bird season tickets are sold next month. We're an average side. I don't gamble. Didn't the book? I'm not into bookies. I know that, but a lot of people buy into bookies. Go with what the bookies say. Did the bookmakers, not make Middlesbrough favourite for top 2 or top 6? I'm sure people told me that at the start of the season. Joshua says we signed Mugger out for less. Wilder was right. Kieran Scott, good for business, not for the squad. Kieran Scott, as I say, I don't know him for Adam. I've seen him. Don't acknowledge, he doesn't acknowledge me, so it's fine. I think it's a horrible job that he's got. Same as all directors of football. He's just a piggy in the middle. A gopher. Goes to the coach, goes back to see the top boys, gets back, oh, can I get him the money? It's a horrible job. But again, he's bought into it, so... And that's what I mean, directors of football, when the coach goes to the directors of football up and down the country, should get sacked as well. Did West Ham sack one recently? Everton did one start of the season. I think there's a few done it. And rightly so. You cannot just hang one guy out to dry when another guy's got a major input or output, who's coming in, who's going out, and he get away scot-free, hide under the bed. They should go as well, I agree. Well, there was the club project needing ending is bullshit, this project. So the club project, it's all bull. Well, Steve Daly says, if Carrick goes, we need an experienced coach stroke manager who can sort this shower of Carrick seems too pally. Slow, boring, predictable, sideways, backwards, garbage football. Get Carrick out the door now. Oh, I can't defend this side for I call it fanning about, and I'm not going to change that rhetoric. It's boring. We just keep past this square. We'll get 70 odd minutes to clock a day and we're past that again. And I mean, Friday, last Saturday, although he played very well, he was putting his feet in the ball, and I'm thinking, as a kid I was told to keep the ball moving, never stop the ball. But what they should do is they should go and watch 11 fans playing on a Sunday morning and tell the pub team that's playing, well, the players are watching, tell them to pass along the back line and pay 30 quid in and see what they think. I remember it wasn't quite boring like that, but I remember Bruce Rioch, who I respected greatly, who had a big success at Middlesbrough. I played up front, and Pally, Mugger, Cooper, Parkey, Persy. The back line, this particular game, just kept hoofing it way over my head. No there downwards. I was no good in the air. I don't know why I would hit it up there, but anyway, the centre half 6'4". And the whole game this went on, and I'm running about like a headless chicken thinking, no, you're getting a kick, they're not giving it to my feet or my chest. And then in the Monday, we go training, and Bruce Rare says to Mugger and Pally, right, you two got front. Bernie, you go centre half. And I went, what do you mean? He went, right, the big balls. Right, we start for the back. Bernie will give you the balls that you were giving him on Saturday. And I was just hoofing them over Pally Mugger's head, shanking them anywhere, hoofing them 50 feet in the air. And Bruce turned to them and went, now you know how he feels. So maybe the players have to watch other people blowing the pants off them before they realise that it's not good to watch. Keep the ball's one thing, but you need to go forward with it. They did it today. They passed it, but they passed it sharper, quicker, and moving. We just get it and look up and we dusted the banner and play it left and get it back. Garbage. It's boring. If the lads were there now and I was still to get in the dressing room, I'd say, listen lads, it's boring. Michael, boring. We've had enough of it. But the fans showed this gruntlement against Watford. They booed. Every time we went along the back line, they booed. It's without doubt worst January ever signing. Oh yeah. So Phil says it's without doubt the worst January window we have had. Every signing has been downgrade. Stuart says no more Mr. Nice Guy now. Bernie, it's time to peel the paint off the walls in the changing room, whether they like it or not. Well, like it or not, well, he's wanting to change everything. I made you laugh, Bernie, mate. Better than the match. Yeah, you did, Steve, yeah. Yeah, I like to laugh, but today was frustrating day, mate. We cannot let Kieran Scott appoint another coach. Get a manager. Josh, the people in power used to give everything to the managers. The managers would demand, they would bow to them, and there you go, there you go, there you go. Steve Gibson's obviously, like a lot of, see, this has been in Europe for years. They've brought it over here in recent years. But the majority of directors of football in foreign shows are ex-footballers. But when you get somebody that goes in there who has never played, never managed, who's in a position where he can F your career up, that's hard to take. You know, I can see exactly how Neil Warnock and Wilder, who'd played hundreds of games and managed 1,000 games, between them, thousands, look and go, hold on, you're bringing him into me and you're telling me to sell him? Who are you kidding? I couldn't deal with that. It's like you're 65-year-old man and this young whippersnapper walks in the door who's never kicked a ball, never played, never managed. I've done it all, no me, but well done. And then you've got some young rookie telling you who you're bringing in, who you're letting go. Could you tolerate that? Could you deal with that? Well, if you do, you're a mug. And Wilder and Warnock certainly no mugs. And I'm in their shoes. I would think the same as them. But Carrick is obviously a younger guy and he's bought into it, but I think he knows the reality now and that he's just carrying the can on his own. Big Mugger got it up the road at Sunderland. Exact same. Well, I did the podcast, you can trace it back. I did Tony Mowbray about 5-6 weeks ago before he got back in football, a week later. And he talks about Sunderland and what went on and the director of football, how the role was difficult for it to him to accept. Remley's robbing 11 off this club. Remley agrees a joke. If I met the guy, I would say, what's up with you? What is your problem? And this is the other thing. I don't buy papers. I only see what's on social media now, right? All the injuries we've got, are we told what the injuries are, where they've happened, and how long they're out for? Because I keep people see me, what's up with him? And I think, well, you probably buy papers and look it up. I don't know the answer. But I don't know what the secret is. Must be something wrong in the changing room. Steve Daly says, on performances, if we good clear out, we'd only have 1 or 2 good players. How can we attract decent players? Buying lower league players won't get us anywhere near promotion. I just say, it made me laugh. I thought I keep getting back to the local rag. Whoever did it, I don't know who, what, it was on social media, I've seen it. And the local rag saying, yeah, it was a statement of intent to January window. Who are they kidding? Did they think we're idiots? Whoever wrote that should have been thrown the River Tees with a lead weight around his ankle, or her ankle, whoever, male or female. Do you fancy being charged with the borough for the rest of the season, Bernie? At least there will be passion. I'll definitely give you passion, but you need more than passion. You need a bit. And that's one thing that I do when I don't watch many players, modern players getting interviewed, well, at Middlesbrough anyway, or listen to Carrick. I've listened to him twice this season. I don't really get the oomph, the real passion, the grit, the bit of steel. I don't get it. But that's down to a personality thing. I always think, well, I know through experience, know that I've played, well, I played at top level with Middlesbrough in the old First Division Premier. But I'm talking about guys who I know who worked under Sir Alex Ferguson, Brian Clough. Man management's the key. bit of charm, bit of boot you up the arse, give you a cuddle, give you a kiss, know your makeup, know what makes you tick. I don't know if coaches have got that. Where's Leo, passion and pride? Josh, come on, away. Yeah, he passion and pride, but come on. Stephen Pearce had passion and pride, but nobody signed his name. But Pearce was a quiet man, didn't like the limelight. And I'll be honest, Josh, if I was the manager and Leo was overriding me coming picks, well, I'd be doing it anyway. I'd be giving it all that. I wouldn't need him. But I'd be telling him to sit down. Because the fans were singing his name. If I was one of the players, I'd be saying, hold on a minute, he can't change the game. I can get a goal. So I didn't quite get that. Yeah, got his passion, but you need more than passion. You need brains, you need luck, you need continuity, togetherness. You need loads of things. It's a whole package. There must be something wrong in the background. Not one of them are playing for Carrick. I can't categorically say that they're not playing for Carrick. I just don't think some of them are good enough. And as I say, we've got this thing now where you look at a team, and I've seen it the last few games where players are interchanging. I get that. You don't need to be stagnating in one position, but I think some of the players are getting lost as to where they're meant to be. There's no real cohesion. They don't really know where each other are at times. Morrison, Hackney play far too deep. That allows the opposition midfield to push us deep. Well, Stuart, I've been blaming, well, Morrison, Hackney more that way. Maybe today they were that, but over the season I've been going that way and not helping out the defence. Because both of them are attack-minded. You know, you've seen Housen come off the bench today. He tried to settle things down, but won't be getting promoted in the next few years. That's for Dan Smith. I think you're saying the obvious. Pamela Turnbull, hiya Pamela. Gross performance. I'm done with Carrick. No idea who we get as manager. Big Ange might be free shortly, dear me. Mark Tugan says, story of the season, we haven't put a run together all season. Why do people think we're going to start now? Defensively, as a team, we are shocking. Well, I says that, Mark. What was it? Did we have 3-1s? Was it 3 and 15 or something? Then with 12 games left and Peter saying we're going to win 8 and 9, I'm thinking, you're delusional. You need to wait. You need to wake up and smell the coffee and think, do you know what? I need to take my blinkers off and look at it, you know, with a clear mind, you know, not polluted or, yeah, just a bit of clarity and look at what's happened in the past and this season and the turbulent season we've had and players in, players out, players injured, players finished, square pegs round holes. That's the other thing. As I say, number 10 role is Azaz. We don't know who else can play that role. Centre forward is Conway's. There's nobody putting pressure on him right now. On the left wing, Berzogba's doing a job, but for me, he's still not a natural left winger. On the right, without Dope, we've not got a natural right winger. I know that Whittaker's there, but he's going everywhere and anywhere. The defence, 5 centre backs, 1 fit. And the 1 fit one got a bang in the head today. And when it happened to Fry in the first 5 minutes, because the lad did go right through it, it was an accident, it wasn't deliberate. But Fry went down like a tree and obviously got a bit of tension, 4 or 5 minutes. But I always thought, and I hope Fry's all right and we made the right decision. I always thought a bang in the head you get taken off. If McGree is fit next week for Australia, Borough fans will hit the roof. Scott, if McGree goes into national duty, I would throw the book at him. I'd get his case, throw that as well and say, head off, go back to wherever you're from, see you later. I know it's not as easy, I know. But he would not get a game again. I remember I get put with the kids because I was out smoking. I went with the kids. Well, that was soul destroying. Put McGree with the kids and just say, I'll tell you what, just go with the kids and rock for we're burning money, but we're burning it anyway because he's doing nothing at the minute. No, he can't go to Australia. He has in the past not been fit. If you're not fit for your club, the bread and butter, why should you pack your bags and head off to Australia? It's not as if it's just down the road, is it? Story see, we haven't put a run together. Season, the people we're going to start now. I've read that. Sorry. I start there. Speed work Wednesday. Let's see what's what. So Norman Shute, who was a professional runner, very good one at that, quicker than my car. He says he starts a speed work on Wednesday, so he's going into the club to do speed work. Speed work, 10 games to go. Maybe it should have been done a wee bit earlier, Norman. And speeds, I believe you can get a yard quicker. I don't think you can go. You'd either got it or you've not. People say I wasn't quick. I played with Ripley, who was quick. Was Alan Comfort quick? Palliser was quick. Obviously, in recent years, Traore was the fastest thing I've ever seen in 2 legs. Adama Traore. Tim Lee says, be a fire sale in the summer. Think we can be sure of that now, Bernie? Well, I'm sure there'll be a lot of movement in the summer. What ought to Dross carry out Colin Fry? It's really peeved off. Teams know how to beat us, put pressure on the back 4, knowing we don't have the quality to get out. That's exactly what happened today. So what they've done, forget they've got an interim manager. I think he's 1-1, drawn 1. Was that his 3rd game? But he's not permanent manager. He could be. But from the off, as soon as he's went, I've watched videos of them, I've watched them. The keeper gets it, he'll play it full back, centre back, some fanny about, go right in and let's see how good they are. And we were hitting balls out of play, we were shanking balls upfield, we were getting mixed up. So they did the homework and they did it very, very well. What's this? Man United can throw money and have had their choice of managers, and look at them. Football is not a precise science, and we are rhythmical. Ian Wright now, and have been Ian Wright before. I think given time works best. Paul says we have the 4th highest wage bill. Yeah, I've seen that the other week. It shows the recruitment have failed. All the management are appalling. So that middle one, that last one, yeah. Let's see. Morrison Hackney play far too deep. I've read. Why do we play so bloody slow with this tappy football? That's the one thing that really grinds me down. But if I was up front and I don't see it, and you could probably hear it or lip read, I'd be shouting, get the ball up the field, man, get up the flanks. That's a ball we never play. Never play it. I've seen teams doing it recently. You get the ball, so you get it left or right, open up, you play up the flank, you whip it by the midfielder, the front man peels off and goes out wide, and then the guy that is, the ball's went past the midfield, he goes up and links in. We never play that ball. Never play that ball. Wide, slow, boring, repetitive. It does my head in. But it'd do my head in if I was playing in it. Because everybody, when you go to a game as a fan, you watch the ball going along the back line. You don't watch the midfield movement. I have to say, was it last Saturday? There was very little movement. I thought some of them were taking root. But if they're doing their jobs right, when the ball goes from left to middle to right, the centre forward should be shifting from left to right as well. And if it goes back across, he should come back across again. It's a bad job, that, isn't it? I might see Gibson's loyalty, but anyone watching that today cannot be happy, and fans will turn their back when it comes to renewals. Look, Steve Gibson, as I say, Steve Gibson is one of the few chairmen that knows about football. He loves it with a passion. He's played it. He understands it. He understands the fans' mentality, obviously coming to this area. He'll see the same game as you today. Without a doubt. If only Wolf Manu would reincarnate. Yeah. Is it Tetri? It's a difficult name to read. Wolf Manu, yeah, God rest him, what a player he was. Chris says, people keep going on about Woodgate out, but is he the problem? He did well at Bournemouth and is being judged on his time at Borough when the budget was 0. No, I think what it is, Chris, I think because he Woodgate's longevity at the club. No, he was caretaker, then he was manager, and now he's caretaker again. He's in there. So I think it's more that why has he been at the club so long? 3 different occasions. That's questionable. I would question that. So I get that. We can only improve after today. For John, away John. Peter Sloan says, hi Bernie, what dreadful performance against poor Swansea side. Think the season's over. Passing to each other may be good for the statistic. As I say, if I was going to boost my stats, I could keep the ball and pass it 3 yards to another centre half when there's only one centre forward against the 2 years. I think I could do it with a blindfold on. They don't really move anywhere. It's a form of passing. It's like loads of foreplay, no penetration. That's what it is on the football field. That's what it is. Pass. No penetration. Just pass. Bore everybody to death. Murder. I don't care who, what. It's rubbish. And I watch big boys doing it. Well, saying that, I watched the Liverpool, was it PSG game? Wow, what a game that was. I mean, I was watching the day. I'd be brutally honest. I never thought we'd score. I never, and my gut was saying, we're not going to score today. It's one of the games. And then I thought, Liverpool scored. Never get a kick. Absolutely battered. I'm not saying Swansea were PSG, but Liverpool won the game. Never get a kick for 88 minutes. Get battered. Should have been put to bed early doors. Passing each other, maybe good. Yeah, for statistics, progression to be a top team, everyone fears. Yeah, you need to. If you pass it along the back, then you get in the midfield, and then up front, and then you're supporting, that's fine. But this, especially when you're 1-0 down. 70 minutes a day, we're fanning about the back, we're 1-0 down. 20,000 guaranteed every season, no matter what, for John. The lack of team spirit is frightening for Colin. Steve says, Wilder knew it wouldn't work at Borough. He needs to be in control of who comes and who goes. The only way we will get anywhere is having a proper manager. But Steve, that's what happens all over the country. I don't think for a minute that Pep would tolerate that. Maybe the Liverpool manager wouldn't tolerate that. But the majority of managers now, as I've said for years, the late great Brian Clough, Sir Alex Ferguson, Harry Redknapp, Big Sam Allardyce. Those days of going and buying players and then telling the chairman who you've signed and you pay the money, they're over. They've gone. And I get that as well. You know, if I reflect and look at Steve Gibson's dealings over the years, he's probably bowed to people with so-called superior knowledge, although Gibson knows about the game, and went, yeah, I'll go with your judgment. Paid millions of pounds. Alves, 12 million quid. 8 million macaroni. You know, spending millions. Justed, 6 million. Bamford, second time around, 6 million. You know, so there has to come a time you go, do you know what? I ain't squandering money. I'm going to bring younger players in, polish them, sell them, and make a fortune. I'll make a few quid. So a proper manager, the days of management's over. And I think there's very few now. All coaches. Carrington was never a manager, he was a coach. The club tells us nothing about injuries because it's embarrassing. Can anyone tell me what's wrong with Doak, McGree, Rav, all injured in training? Get the clowns out of the club. Well, there was a big reshuffle at the club last year. One guy went over to America, he was there for years and he just disappeared, and then there was a few others left the club. So it was sort of a left the club under a cloak. Nobody really mentioned why, what, just new ambitions, whatever. May be true, but is Hackney as good as a hype? Today he made so many silly fouls, but when he could have wiped out the scorer to prevent the shot, he let him skip past. He cut across him, yeah, so he could have chopped him, but he did be booked. I made an effective tactical foul, Chris. Look, Hackney, I think his first season was very good. Hitty missy, he's played over 100 games, so well done to him for that. In the modern game, a local lad playing 100 games for his hometown club is quite a feat. Especially with all the foreign influx and every Tom, Dick and Harry coming through the planet. So, well done to Hackney, that's a big thing. Is he as good as a hype? Probably not. In my opinion, probably not. I think he has to do more. I think he scored 4 goals, 4 great goals this season. But a lad of his age and the engines and what he's about, he should be getting 10 a season. He's classed as an attacking midfielder. I thought he was average today along with Morris. I thought the two of them were chasing shadows at times. They were playing around him. Never created anything. Some of the passes were awful. So, yeah. Is there any legitimate reason professional footballers can't make a simple 10-yard pass when under no pressure. This is for the Middlesbrough fans page. Opposing players. It's been happening. If there's no pressure and they're giving the ball away, they're not tuned in. They probably think, no, it's too easy, there you go. You know, even the routine passes, you need to have tunnel vision and concentrate. Maybe they're lackadaisical. It's easy ball, there you go. Oh, not as easy as I thought. So, regarding legitimate reason for professional footballers can't make simple 10-yard passes, I think it's that. Sometimes, no pressure, oh, there you go, here you go. Pass the ball, easy ball, but you're just so casual about it that the so-called easy ball and routine pass goes astray. Concentration. And what happens? You get sloppier passes as the game wears on. And the reason is because they're getting tired. So that's another reason. Carrick's description of a game totally contradicts what we all see. No apology for the fans either. Shocking. Surely Carrick didn't say today was good. I don't know what Carrick says. I won't be listening, but he couldn't have made any excuses today. We were garbage. First half, brutal. I wore the shirt, look, Brian Clough, for inspiration. I've had it on all day, but wasn't to be. Is it safe to say Ignacio isn't the answer? What does he offer? He's finished. Well, Lee, I wouldn't write him off after 3-4 games, but he doesn't look a player. He looks uninterested, no real spark. Seen a wee interview he did on the social network. He just looked like, if he could have got away with saying, do you know what, I'm here, but I don't know if I might be here, it wouldn't have went amiss. Did we really pay $6 million for Whittaker? I don't know what it was, but it was a lot of money. Developing young players to sell on at the club model, and Carrick has a hell of a reputation for that. So developing young players to sell on is the club model, and Carrick has a hell of a reputation for that. Well, hey, if the results don't go your way, it doesn't matter how many young kids you polish and turn out. If we slip down the table dramatically and getting beat, well, if we make what out of the last 8 games we've lost 6. If we lose another few, anything's possible. The coach must be too comfortable. They never seem to get off it. That coach must be too comfortable. They never seem to get off it. That's very Stuart. Jonathan Mike says, too many key players out injured. The team is disjointed and slow. No point sacking Carrick if the squad is poor. Then it doesn't matter who's in charge, as the results won't change. No defensive cover being bought is poor for the club. We seem like a club that has stagnated. But Jonathan, when you look at what's the chances, as I say, even when I was a kid, centre-halves were known for breaking noses, opponents' noses, breaking legs, blood everywhere. But all our centre-halves are injured. Centre-halves of old were tough. Longevity. Anything that came in front of them is wipe out. But ours doesn't. We sold Big Clarkey. We brought back Edmondson. Fry was left out in the cold for no apparent reason. He's been the star man the last few weeks. I don't get it. But up front, we've got one centre forward. Ignacio, I says this as well in the window. I says Giles should not return. It's lazy recruitment. I says Ignacio and Junior and whoever else we brought in January, it might take them 6 months to settle. Well, we're into March. I've not seen anything. Not a jot, have you? I says, if you rewound this over the months, I say January, the time they come in, the time they settle in, they'll be gone. Back to the respective clubs. January has killed our season. Sold players and not one player in has made an impact. Paul Nicholas just says that more or less. Most teams in the top 6 strength in January, not waiting. Look, if, again, on here, I did say, I know my podcast, I did say months ago, January window's vital. That'll define where we're going. I says if Stoke goes, because I thought Liverpool could easily sell him because he's their property, and Latty Laugh goes, we ain't making the playoffs. Well, Latty Laugh went. Everybody knew he was going to go. So he went. That weakened our ambition. and then Doak didn't go, but he got injured. So for me, that was it. I says that way before the event. I thought if the two of them go, well, we're knocked. But one's went and one's injured at the most difficult period. Don't know what that's all about. So where are we? January, his courtesy, and so players, yeah. The end of the season shows we're a very poor side. Every year, we're one of the favourites to go up. We have a mismatched team, no leader, no proper captain, one decent hard midfielder, 1 week, no defence, mediocre wingers. As a striker you like me cannot only do the job if we get decent passes or assists. Yeah, as I say, if you look at one striker, we've got Coburn out, he's still a Borough player, he's at Millwall. He's gone. Sold Latty Laugh. Big Hay Nashio's not settled, might not settle. One striker in Conway, if he was to get injured, if we come out and choose against Queen's Park Rangers and he's not on the team, what do we do then? Put Foz back up front, who's not a centre forward, who's not a winger. Frustrating. Bernie, you mentioned defenders breaking noses, legs, etc. Fry walked off having pulled something. Would Mugger have ever done that? Players think more of themselves than the clubs these days. For Chris Blood? Yeah, Chris, I just think it's a different breed of player. I think that the modern player's mollycoddled, spoiled, laddered tights, you're out for a month. 2 laddered tights, you're out for 3 months. Oh, I've got a wee strain. Oh, I've got a wee... Yeah, as I say, I wasn't tough as getting in like that. I like to score goals. That was what I was about. But some of the lads like Gary Hamilton, Tony Mowbray, they'd put their head in where I wouldn't put my boot. Tough as. Club number 1, Middlesbrough lad. Well, how many say for a young kid? Mugger's a red kid lad. They would... And Colin Cooper, he was for Durham, he would put his lot in. Gary Parkinson. Stuart Ripley, he would run into defender. He could run by defenders, but if there was somebody standing in front, he wouldn't hesitate and go right through him. He was as strong as an ox as well. Where are we? The end of the season shows very poor side. No, I've read that, sorry. Bernie, you may not have been the fastest, but in old money, you're the footballing brain thinking one step ahead. Well, my whole game was about, I was fit, although people say you're lazy, Scottish, Irish, whatever, they used to shout, the Borough fans sometimes. I just wanted to score goals. That was my game, and I think I did that. I think it's ridiculous, the state of play. Well behind Sunderland, not look rubbish. What's the problem? Management, coaching, transfers, tactics. 2 wins recently, wasn't convincing. That shows how bad we are. Say Bob, I think you've covered a lot of it. Settled team over the season. Well, you can't get a settled team if you get injuries every day of the week and we don't know where they're coming from. Players out of position, no leaders, no continuity. Can never get telepathic because it changes all the time. I had Demi Constantopoulos, who's the top draw keeper at the Borough during that promotional season, X amount of clean sheets. He was amazing. Some people thought he was coming here to graze after he left Hartlepool, turned out a star, and should always be remembered. But I asked Demi the question as a keeper. I knew the answer, but I'm asking a goalkeeper. Maybe what I was thinking is wrong. I says, Demi, as a keeper, when you've got your right back changing regular, which we have, and your left back, which we have, and your centre backs, which we have, changing regular, is that disruptive to you as a goalkeeper? And the answer was yes. Of course it is. When I played, Stephen Pears was in goal. Pallister, Mowbray, Cooper, Parkinson. Every week. I think that lot played first 3-4 years, played every game. Loved Demi. Somebody says, is that Terry, is it? I can't pronounce your name, mate. Try and make it easier. Call Jim or something. Bernie, you may not have been the first. Yes, right. Jonathan said, Bernie, hypothetically, if Carrick was to leave in the summer, then how would you like to replace him as a realistic choice? Jonathan, I've not given it any thought. Swear to God, not given any thought. I don't know who's available, But I think it's ill-mannered. Carrick is there. Carrick has to see, well, he doesn't have to, but Carrick again's under pressure after today. You know, he was under pressure 3 weeks ago. Then he 2 wins and that gets the monkey off your back kind of thing. But the monkey's jumped back on again. And there's more pressure. I mean, QPR, another average team. We done down there, didn't we? They come to the Riverside Tuesday night. Imagine we go a goal behind. Can you imagine the atmosphere? Be able to cut it with a knife. Pressure's back on. Bernie, what has happened to a renowned academy products? I'd rather see local kids playing and giving 100% than these charlatans claiming to be footballers. Well, I have to say, Andy, there was a big Ferrari and everybody was upbeat and bumming up the academy, Middlesbrough Academy, academies up and down the country. It's not working. It's not working. Never produced a centre forward. A one that stayed and banged in goals galore, a regular, not produced one of them. And yet, I keep saying it, 10, Borough's top 10 strikers, there's 7 players when there was no academies come out of this area. With Stewie Downing, Adam Johnson, Ben Gibson, Hackney, a young Andy Campbell. He was faced with a lot of older top international players, so very difficult for him. And that's been about it. Who else? There was Robbie Stockdale. He was local, wasn't he? Harrison, was he? No, Harrison wasn't he? Was he Australian? Yeah, so there's not been a lot. So the hype then, it's disappeared into oblivion. That's why we're bringing 18, 19, 20-year-olds to Australia and America, and that tells its own story. I don't know how much it takes to plough in financially into the academies, but it must be a few quid to keep them going. But I've not seen it. You know, I keep hearing this lad, Sonny Finch. Well, where is he? I ain't played for the under-21, but where is he? Why is he not in a game here? We've no strikers. So we'd rather Sonny Finch, and I keep hearing he's a prolific goal scorer and very good, but yet he can't get in. We're bringing Ian Asho, who's not the future. This kid's meant to be our future. I see young lads at the bench, but I don't see any strikers. Well, I don't know. McCabe. If and when you realise that the top 6 spot has gone, I would introduce some of the kids and give them some experience in the first team. Colin says Sam Allardyce. Yes, Sam Allardyce. Hackney was frustrated, can't blame him. Hackney tried, but he wasn't at his best. I was 19 in 86. You guys were absolute heroes to a man. Every one of you played for the club and it showed. Others do not. I just think the game's changed. I know it's an old cliche, but when I came, I was classed as a foreigner, although I was only 3 years up the road. Gary Hampton was a foreigner, Archie Stevens for Liverpool, foreigner, and Brian Laws. The rest were local lads, Redcar, Norton, Birmingham, Durham. They were all for this area. And every one of your lads wore the shirt with pride. And there was a great togetherness. We went about with each other socially, and we loved each other in the park, looked after each other. If somebody elbowed me, I'd say to Hammy, White Pim, next opportunity, do them. And Hammy would oblige, of course. So we looked after each other, even to this day. We still have big nights to raise money for Gary Pattinson. And we'll be doing that next year again. So, yeah, that's a unique period. That'll never happen again. They fell all over the world. And you know, it's like, I talk about my boyhood hero, Celtic. Celtic won the European Cup when it was a real European Cup. Every player, when they beat Inter Milan in Lisbon in 1967, every player came from a radius of 26 miles. If anybody that wins the European Cup now, they come from the other planet. What's the biggest accomplishment? Swansea fans were taking the pee out of our players. It's embarrassing. Jason Mars says, appreciate the financial constraints, but as a club, you can't sell men's striker and expectation move up the table. Disappointing. I agree. I mean, did Carrick get asked that question? As I say, I don't really listen regular or twice a season or whatever. But did anybody ever ask Carrick that question? What do you think of Latte Laugh? I can imagine me getting asked the question being my mindset. So you say, come on in, Bernie, steady Michael. Bernie, Latte Laugh. I'd say, absolutely gutted, distraught. Waiting to our chances of promotion. I get the business side of it, but I'm the coach. My head's in the block. I'm the guy who'll carry the cat. I'd be giving it that. I'd probably last 2 minutes. I'd be sacked the next day. But Michael's more calmed down, more different animal. But I don't think they're allowed to say that. I couldn't watch things like that happening and not being allowed to give my opinion on it. Overweight, but we must have known that before we brought in Try and Appease Us fans after Latte went. Who are we talking about? I've got an idea. Russell Willis says, nice flight, back for the players, poor fans, hours on the road, watch that pathetic shower, think we need to accept these loan deals are woeful. Has Party ever been tested with a computer to see if he can control the cursor? Others with condition have done so, then they can communicate. No, just the lads asking about Parky. No, I think they've tried all that in Parky. I'm talking about Gary Pattinson, big player, and after the liquidation, third, second, first, played a major part. Great guy, big family man. He's got what they call locked-in syndrome. We went to see him a few weeks ago, and they communicate via his eyes. He lifts up for yes and down for no. His wife, if she asks him a question, has to painstakingly go through the alphabet to get one letter and then a word. And his family's amazing. And so is Parky and his kids and his wife, Deborah. But no, I think the answer to that is no. I think they've tried all that, and I know other people have, but I don't think they can do that. But myself, Archie Stevens, Gary Pallister and Matt Proctor went to see him a few weeks ago. We had him laughing. He's coherent. He knows every word. He's still, I know it's crazy to say, his hair's nice, his teeth, his skin. He's always well dressed, immaculate dressed. But yeah, very sad. Keep praying for it if you're religious in any way, shape or form, no matter who your God is or whatever. Say a prayer for Party and everybody out there that's struggling. The top championship teams have got top championship coaches. Simple, we haven't. But Robert, Carrick, best football I have witnessed at Middlesbrough. I thought we played good football under Bruce Raichbaugh. I don't think, I know, and we were productive and we went up the leagues. But Carrick's football is the best football I've witnessed. All the managers after us. So I can't pay him a bigger compliment than that. But back then, if you reflect, Giles was good, up and down, didn't have to defend because we always had the ball in the main. Creative, he was the most creative player in the league, I think. Giles is a left back, a wing back, going up and down that flank. Akpom scored more goals in the division. He turned it round for not scoring to unbelievable 29, 30 goals. Then you had Ramsey and Archer, who were banging form. But now, the quality of players come in. We have not gave Carrick the hand that he had then. That was his best hand and that was his best football. The quality has dwindled, evaporated, disappeared. So maybe that's got something to do with it as well. Well, it's definitely another in the mix. Season is done for us. Time to switch focus to West Brom going up the mugger. Sean McMahon says, hey Bernie, what do you think of the Fontaines DC? I'm into my music, you know that. Yeah, I like the Fontaines, Irish band. Yeah, I've seen a few. I've not seen them live, but I've seen a few clips, and yeah, I like some of the stuff. Yeah, so yeah. Steve Cooper knows this league. Get Carrick out the door now. Paul Ronald says Cooper has just started a new job, working for the FA, I think. Craig Parker says managers survive on results. Middlesbrough haven't been good enough over the course of the season for various reasons. The manager will take the blame as always. Coach, not manager. Which replacement manager is bringing in then Bernie? Arise Sir Gareth. Wow, Gareth. So I just need to check the time because I think I've overshot the runway. I have 10 minutes over. Listen, thanks very much for getting involved. I know it's been a disappointing day, a frustrating day. As I say, I did contemplate throwing the telly out the window, but I thought, if I had the money of these players, I would have done it, but I've not got that kind of money. So the telly stayed in its place. I shut the blinds in case anybody was peeking in watching what I'm watching. Anyway, I just want to plug this too. I've been asked to plug this. And by the way, it's more or less sold out, so... which replacement manager? No, thanks again, great show. Cheers, mate. So October the 30th, 40 years in Teesside celebration. I've been 40 years in Teesside. There's about 20 odd former players, not through just my era, all over the eras. I had them written down. I was going to read them out. I just don't know where they are. So, and I've got loads of stuff to read out. I'm all over the place. Anyway, host of players coming. I'm no doubt they'll give a few, they'll tell a few tales, things that you've probably never heard. Bernie Carrick in or out. Craig, well, he's in at the minute. It's not my job to do that. It's Steve Gibson's. Cheers, Bernie lad. At the end of my tether with this football club now, one of the most expensive in the league. How in this, an advertisement, Craig Wilson, an advertisement for early bird. Carrick's football for me is no longer what it was. The possession base is painful to watch. Putting your foot on the ball and stopping the game. Dead as in Carrick. Nobody else shot him. Fair enough, Craig. Yeah, so here it is. So 30th October, 40 years in Teesside celebration. It'll be in the Legends Lounge, or so far it's in the Legends Lounge, but as I say, it's jam-packed. Guys like Ian Baird, Stu Downing, I'm reading them, of course, I couldn't remember them all. Matt Proctor, Pallister, Madison, Neil Madison, Craig Hignett, John Henry, Archie Stevens, Julio Acker, Tony Mowbray, Eric Gates, George Friend, Steve Gibson, it's in his diary, David Hodgson, Mickey Hosswell, Demi Constantopoulos, Jeff Winter, Peter Wright, Yorkshire Vet, Nicky Moan, David Wheater. There might be a couple added onto that. So if you're interested, as I say, it's going to be sold out for sure. And there's very few left, but one or two questions getting asked to me and I don't know the answer yet. You can email for more information is 7.enterprises, that's the word 7.enterprises at hotmail.co.uk, or you can phone 07368, so that's 07368 870 120. All the best with that. Awful squad, lazy, heartless, and now we struggle to score. That's from Michael Thomas. The other thing I wanted to say, Talk BS podcast, you listen to every Monday. You can backtrack players, managers, comedians, singers, loads. Total BS. It's free. Get it on Spotify, Apple, anywhere, everywhere. And you can backtrack even Akpom when he got the 20 odd goals. This week I've been talking to Bill Gates. Bill Gates played for Middlesbrough centre-half. I've been talking to his son, talking to him about his dad, who sadly passed away in 2023. And he's doing a campaign for Alzheimer's and whatever. Obviously, Heading the Ball is getting a lot of discussion these days, and he's canvassing for that, and he's all the world doing it. So he talks about his dad as a player and one of the, well, he opened a sports shop, didn't he? He ended up in the Cayman Islands as a taxi excel. So it's educational. How many times this season have we struggled to come back from 1-0 down and not even win a point? Yeah. So anyway, thanks very much for joining us. I'm back again. The Talk BS podcast is on Monday. It's all about Bill Gates, former Middlesbrough. Don't forget his four brothers, one of them Eric Gates, who I'm pally with Eric Gates. What a player he was as well. European Cup winner, UEFA Cup winner. And then Tuesday night, be too late after the QPR game. I'll be back on Wednesday. Probably games on Wednesday, European games. So say 10 o'clock. I know it's late. If you're working, then you're not going to listen. But say 10 to 11 on Wednesday night. Up the borough. Cheers. Thanks for listening. Apologies about today. I used to take the blame when I played. I'm still taking the blame. Cheers. Up the borough.